So the stored procedures we've been looking at so far don't have any parameters. And now we're going to create one that does have a parameter because our boss would like us to enter a portion of a customer's company name and display the contact name and phone number for that customer. So we're going to do a little stored procedure that basically is bringing in a portion of the company name, and we're going to use that portion of the name in the where clause, and we'll do a select that displays the contact name and the phone number. And we're going to be using Northwind for this. So we're going to say use Northwind, and then we'll do go, which starts a new batch. And we'll say create procedure, stored procedure, find customer. And we're going to create a little parameter, a little variable here called company. Data type is nvarchar, size 40. And we're going to set this equal to the %, which is going to allow us to enter a portion of the name instead of the whole name. And then we've got as. Okay, so after the as is where we are going to be putting our select statement. And because now we are using parameters, we're going to use begin and end. And then in between, we're going to do our select. So we'll say select. We wanted the contact name and the phone number. And this is coming from the customer table. So it's from customers, where company name is equal or is like. Okay, because we're doing a portion of the name, we want to use like. It's like this variable. So what's going to happen when we run this is we're actually going to have to pass it the portion of the company name that we want it to use. Okay, so this is our stored procedure. Okay, we'll go ahead and start a new batch after end. And we'll go ahead and put in the execute here. So this is just like before, except after the name of the stored procedure, we have to give it the portion of the company name. So we want to see the contact information if the company name starts with Berg. So in single quotes, we're going to say Berg, and then we're going to put in the %. And when this runs, what's going to happen is this parameter is going to come in and be stored in company. Okay, so then it's going to give us the contact name and the phone from the customer table, where the company name basically begins with Berg. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and run this thing. Okay, and here's the contact and the phone number. And we're going to comment out the first part. And then we're going to change this. So instead of looking for a company that starts with Berg, we are now going to look for one that starts with Eastern. Okay, and there is the contact name and the phone. So we're going to go ahead and move our closing comment. And we have another little scenario here. Our boss would like us to create a stored procedure that lets us retrieve vendors from a state or all vendors if the state is not provided. So basically, we're going to end up having to check to see if the state is filled in or not. So we're going to have create procedure. And let's see, this is also, I believe, from North Winds. Let's just double check here. No, I believe it is from AP. Yes, it is. So we're going to have to say, use AP up here and go. And then we've got create procedure. And the name is stored procedure vendor state. And our variable is, we're going to call it state. Variable character and 20. And we're going to set it to null. Okay, so we're giving it kind of a default value of nothing. And then we have a keyword as. And then we're going to have our begin and end. After the end, we'll do a go. And in between is where we're going to be putting our select. So for the select itself, basically, if the state is null, then we're going to select everything from vendors. If it's not null, then we want to select only from the state that we've been given. So we're going to have to do an if else. So we're going to say if at state is null. That means they did not pass any state to us when they ran or when they're running this stored procedure. So if that is the case, then we're going to select everything from vendors. Okay. If that is not the case, so if state is not null, okay, then we are going to select everything from vendors, but we need a where clause. So the where clause is vendor state, which is a column in the table, where vendor state is equal to the state that was passed when they ran the procedure. Okay, so that's actually a fairly short stored procedure. We have one parameter, maybe empty, or it may have something in it. If it's empty, we're going to get all of the vendors. If there's something in it, we are going to be limiting the vendors to the state that we were passed. So we'll execute this a couple times after we create it. So first, we're going to just execute without any parameters. And what I expect to see then is all the states. And then we're going to execute with a specific state. And we're going to pass it CA. Okay, so we're going to see two different result sets. One should have everything, the other one should only have California. So if we look down state, you can see our first one does have all the different states. And our second one just has California. So we are going to go ahead and move our closing comment down.